おはようございます、エステルさん。
なんか堅苦しい挨拶だね。そんな気を使う必要なんてな。
にしようかと。
そっか。騒動が収束したら、うちのボスに旦那のことを話しとくから、今後の儲けにもつながると思うよ。
小さな紹介でお恥ずかしいですが、よろしくお伝えください。
任せときな。じゃあ。
召喚のボスって、まさかマフィアとか。
All right, my friends, we have Tsukamichi, episode number 18. And I got to keep it a buck. I got to keep it a real. You know what I mean? I got to be just straight up with you. This wasn't the episode I was hoping for. You know, I thought the payoff this episode, putting up with like all the mass dialogue and all the inaction, I really thought that this week's episode, like, yo, Makoto about to like, die Makoto. You know, I thought he was about to unleash the beast, you know? And this episode specifically, also, yo, my allergies today, my friend, is kicking my ass. This episode today, though, like, it was really, how do you say it? More of the same, you know? It was more of the same. It was a lot of just continuous inaction still. And maybe next week we get the, you know, we get to see the beast be unleashed or whatever it is. But like, I don't think this was a bad episode. It just wasn't what I was hoping for. And I think I even said, you know, at the end of last week's review, I was like, okay, we put up with all this. This episode kind of sucked. But next week, I feel like, yo, next week, Makoto he's going to go, you know, level 9,000, you know, he gonna go crazy on the demons and mutants and whatever else, right? And we just didn't get that this episode. And instead, I think the highlight of this episode was Mio. You know, she's a highlight for me every time she's on screen. But I really feel like the highlight this week was Mio and her getting revenge on Illuminati guy, right? Aluminium. What Ilumgard, whatever his name is. I really feel like that was a highlight this week. And she went and we found out that he came back to his senses and he kind of retained himself once again, which I was like, oh shit, like, oh, he's back. I was like, maybe she's going there to do Makoto a favor, and maybe she's going there and gonna restore him, even though she said she couldn't or there wasn't a way. Even Shiki was like, nah, he gone, fam. I was like, maybe she's going there to get him to like earn the favor of that dude's dad or something like that. But no, she went there because she was like, you badmouth my boy. You go get you go get it. And she did. She killed the hell out of him. So I really enjoyed that moment. Outside of that, my voice really cracked really bad. That it's already high pitched as it is. Imagine. So sorry. Outside of that, though, it was just a continuous, you know, more banter, more plot planning. You know, he did go save the brothel girls. He did go meet a new gifted girl who, you know, was recurring at the end of the episode as well, too. And it seems like that girl has a boss. He'll meet, you know, the mafia, the brothel boss. So they did kind of put some things in play there. They also did talk about, you know, other cities or countries sending in forces here. They talked about the hero coming. So things did get moving. But as far as like core things, like it just was a little bit of an uninteresting episode. Again, more dialogue focused. But for me, you know, this dialogue, unlike a similar anime like Slime anime, is like that has a lot of plot and intrigue, and this is just dialogue for sake of being dialogue. Like he comes in and he gets scolded by he gets scolded by, how do you say it? He gets scolded by the headmaster, and he's like, okay. And then, you know, he has a moment where he goes and reconvenes in the slums, and he makes a deal with the princess. You know, I think that's all cool. You know, he helps getting the evacuees out. I think that's all cool. He puts a plan together with Shiki and Tomoe and Mio and them about, you know, next steps on what they're going to do to help exterminate and bolster their, you know, the opinion of the Kozunoha company. I think that's all cool. So I don't know. I was watching it and I was engaged. So it wasn't boring to where I was disengaged from it. I think my thing is my expectation for this episode and what I actually got were just really far apart, which made me not enjoy this episode as much as I maybe would have. I just think that they're kind of stretching some things out a little too much, and they're giving us a lot of detail, but in not detail. And I don't really know what the words are, but it's just not hitting for me. So next week, next week might be the week. Maybe next week he'll take some action. Maybe next week we'll get some action. Maybe next week we'll see Makoto kind of like, because next week is called The Unruly Merchant. So maybe he'll be that unruly merchant. Maybe we'll get a little bit, it'll be more exciting. But as we dawn closer to these, 25 episodes is a lot of episodes. But as we get closer to now, we have only 6 or 7 episodes left. It's like, well, we're kind of really close to that finish line, even though we were given a big pot of food. We're close to finishing it, so, and it hasn't really tasted that good. So anyways, let me know your guys' thoughts. I hope my thoughts made sense. I'm a little loopy. My a little under the weather, allergies kicked my ass and stuff today, but I hope that makes sense of just like I was engaged with the episode. It just wasn't that good. Anyways, I'll see you guys next week. All right, my friends. Peace.